Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode on Laid Back the Terezinka podcast. And our topic for this week is work-life balance of a medical couple. And our guests for this week are Dr. Ebele Onubogu, a consultant in obstetrics and gynecology, and the wife, Dr. Dubem Onubogu, a GP specialist. Hello, guys. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, glad to be here today.
Yeah, it's good to have you guys here. So, is this your third podcast?
Yes, it is. It's
Yes.
from my. Yeah, this is my first one.
Mine too.
Okay. So, do you guys have any expectation?
No, we're just here to talk about the topic and hopefully, have a good discussion together really about it.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, before we get into the topic, like, why do you guys choose to go into the medical field? Why? Like, what drove you guys into the medical field?
I'll let Dubem go first. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Why did I go into the medical field? I mean, my dad's a medical doctor. My mom's a pharmacist. So from when I was, from my young age, I liked the way my dad worked. His, being a doctor is quite prestigious in Nigeria, but it was his work-life balance that was important to me. I'd see him go to work, come back, still have time to do other things, So I think that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to be a doctor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
From my own end, I think growing up back home in Nigeria, in Lagos, then the major reason I come from a middle class family. I don't know if it's upper or lower middle class, but it was middle class. And growing up then, we used to have idols, people we wanted to be like when we grew up. And my dad was an engineer, my mom was a midwife. I didn't want to be any of that because I didn't think they had enough money. So the people I knew that were comfortable then, I think they were doctors. Most of the people I knew that I looked up to growing up were medical doctors. So yeah, I think from being about 6 years old, I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And that was basically it, and it never changed till I got into university.
Oh, interesting. That's true, because I think a lot of people drove their children to do sciences, engineering or medicine or pharmacy back then, to be honest. Yeah. But when we talk about work-life balance, like in a traditional workplace, like what does that actually mean? Because you see a lot of people say work-life balance is a myth and it's unattainable. Like, what do you guys think work-life balance is all about, and is it attainable?
I'll let you do this.
Well, I think it depends on what one defines as work-life balance. Some people, their way of seeing life, people's way of seeing life differs. From our own, I think I can only talk about my own family.
Yeah.
Our idea of work-life balance is working, being able to make enough for yourself, for your family, to be able to provide for ourselves, provide for our family, live a relatively comfortable life, while at the same time making our time to enjoy life itself. Because it shouldn't just be work. There should be some degree of you work and you play. And that way, it makes the environment better for both ourselves and for the children. We've got 2 children, so I think that's our idea of work-life balance.
Yeah.
So
what about you, Dubem? What do you think?
I agree with Bella. So, because if it's quite easy in our profession as doctors to get caught up in working all the time.
Yeah.
The work itself, patients would want you to do things for them, and sometimes if you're not careful, you go to work, and most times we stay later than the time we're paid to be there. And in some cases, even if you're not employed, you're local or you're working for yourself, you want to make as much money as possible to do all the things you want to do, and it can get I want to use the word addictive, but you can get caught up in it.
Yeah.
and miss out on the important things in life. For example, time with your kids, time to take them to things that are also important to them, spend time with them. And as Bella has said, enjoy life as well, go on holidays and actually be on holiday, because sometimes you go on holiday and you still find them thinking about work or looking at emails, but actually take that time off and have a good balance in your life, really.
Yeah. So you guys said that sometimes you could work, and you become so addicted and obsessed with work. Because I've seen some people, their life is all about work, and I think at the end of the day, like you said, they become isolated and obsessed. So how do you think one can actually find that balance to ensure that they end up relaxing at the end of the day, whilst actually still attaining their own personal goals? How do you think they can relax?
Should I go first?
You can.
Yes. So I think at some point in life, especially if you're into a profession that you have options of always working, like for instance, ourselves in the UK, as medical doctors, there will always be an extra shift to take. There will always be locum to do. There will always be something else that you can do apart from your normal scheduled work.
Yeah.
So, but in all that, at some point you have to tell yourself that there's never going to be enough. I don't know if there's any person in this life that I know that claims that they have enough money that they don't want more money. So
even that go to the find money, so
exactly.
I don't think there will be a better.
So everybody wants more money. Even Jeff Bezos wants more money. Everybody wants more money. Bill Gates, if you leave him, he still wants more money.
Yeah.
So, and the drive is because you can make more, you keep working to make more, you keep working to make more, you keep working to make more. But that removes you from the rest of your family. So what everyone needs to do is at some point you look inwards and ask yourself, how much is enough? You set targets that are smart targets that are time bound. There might in everybody's life, in your professional life, there is a time that you work more and there's a time you need to start coming down to do other things.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when our kids were very, very young, at some point I used to work. In fact, the highest I've done is doing 13 days shift in a row, no break in between.
Yeah.
And it was all about money then. But you get to a time when, especially if you have family, you have kids, and they have other things to do, you tell yourself, okay, this is my target, this is how much I earn, this is the target I want to get to for the month. And beyond that, I'm not going to do an extra shift irrespective, because I'm going to do this and do this and do that. So you have to set smart goals that are time bound, and also have to put a ceiling to the amount of time you could do to work, you do for work, so that you can do other things in the family.
Yeah. Okay. Dubem, do you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, a different work-life balance, at different stages in life, it will vary. As you said, when our kids were younger, they weren't as aware. They were easy. Once they see you, their face lights up. They don't want more from you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was easy then. I did my training, and I didn't go part time. And people thought I was crazy. They were like, "Why? You have kids?" And I was like, I was in a hurry to get done. I was working day, night, doing exams. It was stressful, but I was in a hurry to get done before they grew out of that stage of their lives. Of course, you wanted to be around. You didn't want to miss important things. So yes, there was still an effort from both of us to create time to still enjoy those moments with them. It was a good time to have a break, but we worked a lot more then.
When they were younger.
When they were much younger, of course, we had to get, we got help as well for it. We're both working, but it got to a time. I know he did. Ebele did that, and I did that as well. Sometimes it had to be, he had to give up some things to be around a bit more. And other times I had to. But the point was, we got to a point where we knew that the kids, the family, we needed to be there, present more.
Yeah.
It was important to us, the values they had, and it depends on what's important to everyone. Some people, being around for those key age moments of the children's lives or the family's life, even the partner, is important to them, and others is not as important. So it varies for different people. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, different stages of life. So as they got older, when Bella's in the kids will notice when I'm not there, when we need to be there, of course. It was quite obvious that absence was, very, very obvious. So we knew it was time to change, and we made the effort to change, to be more available. So it will keep changing, of course, as they get older. Our lives will also, as we get older, the things that we will not be able to do again. What work-life balance will be then will also change. They're teachers, they don't need us as much. They might not want to spend as much time with us. Our work will change, and the level of energy we have to even work will change. So it keeps changing. So it's always being aware that change is happening, and it is just continuous evaluation. Okay, where are we at now? And as you said, set targets. When you set targets, you can look back, and sometimes you even set targets that are too beyond you. You have to evaluate again and say, right, okay, this was when I set this target, but if I do it like this is going to happen. I'm going to lose out on this, which is also important to me. So remaining aware of what's important to your values, and also continuously, looking over things helps.
Okay. You guys mentioned that when the kids were younger, you guys worked more compared to now. So compared to both stages now, like when they were younger and now, did you guys ever bring work back to the house, or you make sure that everything you did was once you step out of the hospital, that's it? Like you come back to your family.
My dear, we cannot lie. I don't walk back to the house. Of course, I want to believe it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
You keep making an effort to not do that, but it does happen, and sometimes you can't actually help it.
Yeah.
But it's been, again, it's that stage in life where you don't really, depending on what your situation is, you don't really have a choice with regards to doing that. But being aware that it's something that needs to change.
Yeah.
There were times, of course, we all had COVID. That's a situation where nobody could help. We had to work from home at some point. And of course, sometimes, like as a GP, it's quite easy to go to work, come back, and I still have all these results to do. I still have all this to do, emails to deal with. You come home, you're trying to get the kids sorted quickly so you can get to it. So it happens, but it's being aware. You keep working on, making efforts to change things to reduce that, that happens.
Yeah. But I like how you guys have designed your own life to actually crack the code to achieve the work-life balance, depending on the stages the children are at. But what do you guys actually do right now with the kids to make sure like everything is balanced? Like, do you guys traveling? What do you guys do in general?
I'll let you answer.
Okay. So with regards to because the work-life balance we're talking about it's not just about the children, it's also about us,
Yeah.
Even though we've got kids that are 9 and 11, we're still a young couple,
Yeah.
You have to look for a way to make it work for everyone. So what we do is, every year we set a target that we need to have a couple of holidays a year. We try as much as possible to travel at least out of the UK twice a year. I think for the past few years at least since after COVID, we've been 2 or 3 times out of the country yearly, and and probably more.
Yeah,
and that just gives us something to look forward to, because when you're working, if you don't have something you're looking forward to that you're going to, work is harder. But when you're working, then that in the next few months, you're going to Tenerife, or you're going to Paris, or you're going to you're going somewhere that is nice.
There's a target,
target, so it just spurs you to work, and
it
makes it more bearable. And we try to do this, from time to time. We normally target. In fact, some of our friends say that they don't expect us to work during half terms. Apart from just the long holidays, during the half terms, we try and always do something every half term. February half term, during Easter, the May half term, then I think August half term, then October half term. There's always, we try, and even if it's not going abroad, we do something locally. We go somewhere with the children and do something. Then on our own, sometimes we've done in the past, taking the kids somewhere to cousins or something, so that me and my wife, myself and Dubem can go somewhere and just spend time off for the weekend.
Yeah.
Because we need to keep recharging.
Yeah.
So those are things we do. And I have to emphasize that sometimes it's not about how much you have, it's about the will to do it.
Yeah.
It's not just about how, because people see some of this and they say, oh, it's because you guys are this or you guys have money. It's not about the money. It's about the will to do it and the planning.
Yeah.
Sometimes we start to pay for these holidays a year before the time. We just pay bit by bit monthly towards the holidays, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing for some time, and it's been working so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the big ones, you know. There are little things every day, every week, weekly that we do. In terms of work-life balance, we try to, at least on the weekends, we try to do something together, even if it's going to, you know, it can be easy if it's just going to celebrate a friend, or sometimes we make effort, go bowling, find a local place, go swimming. We just find something to do, you know, on the weekend. It's a nice break for the kids as well as for us. You know,
Yeah.
okay, that we've had a long week, let's go do this together. It might just be going to have ice cream somewhere and just sit down, watch them play while we chat. On a day-to-day basis, when we come back from work, the kids, we chat with the kids. They have their usual after-school stuff that can be also stressful. And then they go to bed. I and Ebele will spend time, we'll watch a movie together, or we'll watch, series, or we'll chat, or whatever. So it's not, those big ones, it's a target, as Ebele said. We look forward to it. But those little things as well, it helps. You've had a long day, you come back, it's something you look forward to, and you make an effort for it. Sometimes, I'm not crazy about football, but I'll spend time and watch football with him. Sometimes he wants to watch something else, and I come in, I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this, and it's also that compromise. So it's the little things, it's the daily things, it's the weekly things, and of course those other big things that we look forward to.
I agree with you guys, because I believe where there's a will, there's a way. And there's something you guys said. You guys said it's not just about the children. You guys are a young couple as well, so you have to make out time for yourself to actually enjoy as well. Because I once read an article, and the author was saying that focusing just on family and work as primary sources of our happiness can lead to burnout. Like, it's a recipe for burnout. But what do you think about that? Because the person was saying he had to actually find other things, things like spiritual things, personal, physical, emotional things that can actually drive your intellect as well, to draw strength from when, like, you have a lot of pressure from home and work. So what do you think about that? Outside work and family now, do you think there are other things one can actually revert to if you have a lot of pressure from work and family?
Well, the thing is, I think it also depends on your background. From our own background, we are Christians, and having that knowledge and awareness that there is a superior being, who is there directing your life, taking care of you, and being able to go to him when you're stressed also helps. We're a Christian family. We go to church. We're part of a church, and we're actively involved in the church. Actively, even the children are actively involved in the church. So that is also something that we look forward to going. I can tell you that even when we're on holiday, we still miss church. If we have something that we're doing, we miss church, because it's also a community on its own, where you, apart from just within our immediate family or extended family, you can also, problems can be solved from just chatting to people. Ideas can be gotten, something else to look forward to. In fact, for that reason alone, we do not take extra shifts on Sundays. No matter how much is offered, we have not, between us, taken extra shifts on Sunday for years. For a very long time, because we don't want to miss church. And like I said, we are actively involved in it. So that is one outlet. And I can also tell you that apart from family, like I said, having a good friends network is also important. Very important, because family, if you keep flogging the same thing on someone all the time, sometimes it can get tired, but also having a good friend network. We are both part of our different alumni associations in the UK. I'm actively involved in the Federal Government College Enugu alumni in the UK. Actively involved in fact, previous secretary of our Nnamdi Azikiwe University Medical School alumni in the UK. So these are other outlets that we also engage, and we travel with them. We go places with them. We've been to Cardiff. We've been to Birmingham. We're going to Liverpool. Some of them are coming over to our place in October to Scunthorpe, So we've been to Glasgow. We've been to so many Newcastle. So we have other outlets that you can also get engaged, and some of them are also academic. Programs that we've done in the past, they've had academic presentations, and some of them that has been very good. So there are other things that we do that also helps us balance things out.
I think it depends on, because we're talking from our own angle, but it depends for different people, the kind of person you are. We're very outgoing people. We like to spend time talking to, like to spend time with friends. We'll go to any part of the UK to spend time with friends. Outside the UK even. That's us. But some people are different. They want to spend time with themselves. And to be honest, sometimes we do. And it's finding that thing aside from your family, aside from your spouse, aside from your kids that you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Ebele likes football, and and he spends time with it. And sometimes I give, he needs that space. I give it to him. If aside, he's mentioned about before I go too far, he's mentioned about relationship with God. Aside from church, having that relationship with God is important, because sometimes family doesn't always meet your expectation. Okay. Yeah. When there's kind of experience or circumstances around you that might be happening. Of course, your family is always there, but they might not be able to help you.
Yeah.
So that is when you rely on God, and it's key. But then, aside from that, we are all created differently. So it's finding that thing that you enjoy doing. I enjoy going to the cinema. I enjoy, going to the spa. Ebele doesn't. In short, I think he's only gone once, and he complained a lot about it.
Yeah.
But he knows it's important to me. So sometimes when I've had a very long spell of being whiny, you tell me, baby, when last did you go to the spa?
Yeah.
It's like you need to book it, So, and I go on my own. Sometimes I'll just do something on my own, and it lifts me, I feel better. I come back, everybody's happy, I'm happy again. So it's doing something, it's recognizing those things that are important to you for yourself, as well as it also, because when you're happy, the family is happy. When you're not, it takes a toll on everybody. So if you are relying on family, you want to rely on your husband or your spouse all the time, as he said, you overflog it. Sometimes they themselves are carrying their own load. You come and carry your own load and add on.
Yeah.
So is recognizing those times where you need a friend aside from your husband to offer you support. So having that network is recognizing that time when you need to go out and do something for yourself, have your own space, and give your spouse their own space, your children's space as well. So, it's important.
I agree with that. And you guys have actually mentioned things like personal belief, like your religious belief and your values, and your level now in your careers. Because there's another study that said finding the balance, work-life balance, actually depends on factors like that, like personal belief, your education level, your gender, your work style, personality, and the rest of them. So, do you think, because you said you guys are outgoing, you guys can travel all over the UK to meet friends and have fun. So, when it comes to personality and work style, and like your personal belief, like you mentioned, how much do you think that contributes to actually setting and developing a good work-life balance?
I think it plays a key role. Okay. Yeah. Because it's your personality in the first place that would get you thinking about work-life balance in the first place. Some people,
Sure, yeah.
don't. If you're the kind of person that enjoys, some people love to work. Okay, that's all they think about. And if you're that kind of person, work-life balance won't mean much to you. Okay.
Yeah.
But if some people they are thrown into their work. Their work is their life. I don't necessarily think that's healthy. But again, that's my own point of view. Okay.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of people we are, because of our personalities, which amazingly in so many ways match. Some people would not think it would, because he's outgoing and I'm outgoing as well, but somehow there is a good balance. It's helped us because we we think of work, but we also think, man, it's time to do something, it's time to have fun, it's time to rest, it's time to do something else that isn't this work, because of the kind of people we are. From when we got married, we would turn, he would say, maybe let's go here. I'm like, let's start going now. He said, what do you mean? Can't you say let's stay at home? I said, why would I say that? Why would we stay at home? Let's go out and do something. So I think it plays a role, of course. And of course, our belief in God also important. God believes in rest. In His Word, He created everything in 6 days, and 7th day He rested. So it's important to Him. So it plays a key role. So absolutely, we believe it does.
Yeah, I just agree.
Yeah. Okay. But because of time, so we're going to round off. I'll ask you a final question. So let's say you have a lot of young couples now who are migrating to the UK, Canada, Australia, in pursuit of a better life for their families, for their careers. So what are the 3 main tips you guys can actually give them to make sure that they attain a good work-life balance?
I think it's difficult because given the situation of things in Nigeria, because what a young couple that are in their 20s, the work-life balance that they will be hoping to have, it will be different from someone migrating if they're in their 50s. I don't know if you get my point. Are they migrating with children, or are they migrating without children? So there are a couple of things that, factors. There is no one size fits all. But at the end of the day, for someone migrating, what I would first of all say is that for migration, that there are different phases. No matter what you've heard on the phone, no matter how much time you visited as a visitor, when you come in,
it's different.
It is different. We cannot argue that it is different, and everybody has to pay that price. There is a time where you probably work more and less, and there's a time and later on you probably work less and more. That is the natural trend of life. So I would say that irrespective of when they are migrating, depending on whether they have families or not, they should just set goals. Because if you don't set goals, you just be working, and even the money you're making, you're not sure what you're using it for. So first of all is to have clear goals on what they want to achieve, and let those goals be smart goals. Let them be achievable goals. Let those goals be practical. Let those goals have a timeline to them. By this time I should do this. By this time I should do this. And when you start from that, at least that's one thing that when you start with, you'll be able to do more. You get so that's one thing.
What I completely agree, and of course with setting goals, it has to be specific. Some people just come in, I want to make money. That's the general goal. Everybody wants.
That's not a goal. That's not a goal.
At the point they'll get
it's somebody's goal.
It's somebody's goal actually.
Yes, but if you say,
you get tired of that,
in this time, like when we came in, I knew. By the time I stayed here a few months, I knew I wanted to have my own house. I knew it. I still have it. I'd looked around. I looked at how people were living. I became aware of the fact that I was paying somebody's mortgage, that my rent was paying somebody's mortgage. So as I was, anytime I speak, because I came in and Boxy then Ebele came in next. So we kept talking about it. So we arrived, and people, when people would tell you different things, but when you set a goal, when it becomes important to you, you start to look for the ways. You start you shut out the you cannot, and start looking for you can. How this is the way
and how to get it.
To get it. So I knew that I did not want to pay somebody's mortgage for too long. I wanted to start paying mine.
Yeah.
So we talked about it, we asked questions, and we found a way. That was specific. We wanted our own house, our own mortgage.
Yeah.
And we moved on to something else. We wanted to do this. Specific goals, and it's one after the other. If you try to take on too much, then that work-life balance leaves the window and you don't really achieve much.
Yeah,
So,
you burn out and you
burn
become
out.
sloppy actually. Yeah.
Then you won't achieve
You
anyone.
won't achieve. So yes, set smart goals. But the second thing for me is, or for us, is you need to remain aware of what is important.
Yeah.
Money is important too, but money comes and goes. That is the truth. You have money today, you might not have as much money tomorrow. Okay, but family comes first. Anything, the day your family, something happens to your spouse or your child, money becomes, you don't even remember the word money.
It becomes secondary.
In short, it becomes non-existent. The only time it will come up is you're using that money to save that person if it is possible. So it's remaining aware of what is important.
Yeah.
And then, do you have anything else to say?
How many goals have we said?
We've said 2.
Yeah. One more. Yeah. Because I asked for 3 main tips, so you guys have given us 2 now. Yeah. One more.
I think, I mean, I had something in my mind, but it's gone now.
I mean, the only other thing I can say, I will add, because it's just because of the topic you're talking about. But if you're talking about migration, one other thing I can say is that there is nothing that is impossible for you to do.
Yeah.
Because when people are showing up from developing countries, they say, no, this one is not for this person. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You cannot do this. You would never know what you can do till you try.
Until you try,
You understand? So they should have an open mind, and in doing everything, know that there is nothing that they cannot do. It's better for you to go and try and fail than not to try.
Yeah,
that one is something I'm a testimony to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think from the angle of work-life balance, take care of yourself is the third thing I would say.
Yeah.
Because if when you whether you're in, I mean that applies to anybody anywhere. The environment might not take care of you. The situation might not take care of you. Your employer will not take care of you. They just want you to come and work. Okay. The more you work, and in our profession, even if you're not taking care of yourself and you break down, you can make mistakes which will even put you into more trouble. If you become unwell, you will not be able to work to earn that money, isn't it? Whether it's physically or mentally, if you break down, everything else stops to matter. So take care of yourself. When you need to take a break, you recognize, right, even if it is your body, it's your mind, you're struggling, your concentration, it still brings you back to being aware of yourself and being aware of your family and the impact it's having on them. So you take care of yourself to be there for your family, to be able to even walk and things. And if you remain aware of taking care of yourself, then you naturally aim to find a good balance between your work and your life as well.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 things.
Yeah, I agree, because you have to find time to actually take some rest, exercise, go to the gym, because I don't think anybody can pour from an empty cup. You can't do anything when you're ill. Yeah. But thank you so much, guys. Because that's all the time we have for this week. I hope you guys had fun.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. And hopefully we'll do more in the future.
Absolutely.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.